sa Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM.
The Jesuit Hour. Get to know the Jesuits. Discover their spirituality, their history, their ministries. The Jesuit Hour. Anything Jesuit, everything Jesuit. The Jesuit Hour.
Getting reliable health information about the COVID-19 outbreak can be a lifesaver. Yet, disinformation and rumors can spread just as fast as the virus itself. Now that many of us are spending much more time online, let's think critically about the information we are receiving and sharing, especially on the coronavirus. During the COVID-19 outbreak, only trust official information sources and credible media outlets. Do not share unverified information. This is a message from UNESCO.
Jescom Music Ministry. Music that uplifts the soul. Follow jescom.ph on Spotify and Jescom Music on YouTube. We are also on iTunes and Deezer. To listen to music that uplifts the soul, follow jescom.ph on Spotify and Jescom Music on YouTube. Our music is also available on iTunes and Deezer.
Radyo Katipunan. News, insights, inspiration. Radyo Katipunan. Down from the hill and down to the world. Radyo Katipunan. The voice of the Blue Eagle.
Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. The voice of the Blue Eagle, kami di mapipigil sa pagbabalitang tumpak at tama. Buhay Atenista, sa loob sa labas ng eskwela, ating ibibida lahat ng eskwela. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Kawal ni Ignacio, Katipunero sugo, todo sa kayod, tulong at tulong. Lipad na Blue Eagle, galing hiding at tigil, blue and white, one big fight. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan.
Mga Katipuneros, it's time to level up! Your talk variety program showcasing the best in media and other fields. As we feature the most loved personalities and the best practices of what we truly refer to as Magis. Together with multi-awarded multimedia guru Mr. Noel Ferrer, let's all level up every Fridays from 3 to 6 p.m. here on Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM.
Okay, all good, all ready, all the best. Good afternoon, everyone. And when I say the best, we really have them on the show. We all have to level up this afternoon before we present to you our premier, Paul Volter. Let me talk to the people or the person in charge of grounding him somehow and making this happen, and would like to say thank you for bringing him back to Ateneo. Well, sabi niya sa akin, hindi ko makapaniwala, mas matanda ako sa kanya, but he said he's AB 91. I was AB 89 in the Ateneo. But here's Bobet Bruce, pero sa mga kamag-anak niyang nasa States, pwedeng tawagin na lang Bobet Bruce. Bobet, how are you? And how are you doing? I hope you're okay.
Hi. Good afternoon, Noel, and to all your listeners and all your viewers. Thank you for having me here. It's good to be back, so to speak, to our home.
You can go to the campus now. They're so strict.
Yes.
Anyway,
yes,
so state your course, the year.
Okay.
And then
Okay. So So we were together in Ateneo almost the same time. I was there actually 86 to 91. I was originally batch 90. I'm AB Political Science.
Okay.
Then I went to law school. I went to law school later, much later than my batchmates, and I graduated 1997.
Ganun pala
So,
yun.
so hindi ako...
So we're talking to some of our parang batchmates na rin. So you
Yeah.
Tavares, my batchmate in college. Well, he's kind of involved there because parang si Bobby at Bob Jose naman is parang kapatid ko na yan. Sabi ko pag namatay ako, entrust yung katawan ko dun sa pamilya nila kasi they're the ones in charge of that, no? Pero yun, Bob is I think batch after me, 90, pero pero got into law school also. So sa law school kayo nakita-kita.
No. Bob, I know Bob from college pa.
From college.
From J. You know, me and Bob were where we were CMT flight mates kami ni Bob.
Okay.
So really early. So I knew Bob from way back. I think Bob didn't go to law school. Bob went to graduate school in the US for conflicts resolution. So I think he went to George Mason University in Washington. That's where he went.
No, ibang klase din. Kasi kami naman, si Bob would do things with the student council, and I think he was even in the judicial council. Parang ganun. He's so active in student politics. So
yes.
That's how you know him also. So how did you get into sports?
Well,
in sports.
Yes, I'm involved. But I'm a lawyer by training, but I don't practice that much by choice. I run my own company. I have an IT tech consulting firm. I got into sports. I was always into sports personally. I played a lot of ball. Like everybody else from Ateneo, I played a lot of basketball. Then later on, I got into some amateur boxing. Personal lang yun. Then I was helping a lot of amateur boxers when I was a lawyer. So the Philippine Navy boxing team, I was involved with that. Then later on, I got involved with a pro boxer that I'm helping now is Jerwin Ancajas. He's now the super flyweight IBF world champion. So just purely advisory, just helping. I mean, I'm not their manager. I'm just trying to help. I'm just trying to lend a helping hand. Then I got involved into golf because my two daughters were competitive. So my eldest just graduated. No, my eldest graduated last year sa Ateneo. Finished her master's in applied math in mathematical finance. So she played 4 years for Ateneo. Then my youngest naman was on the national team when she was 14 sa golf, and she's now in the US playing golf for a D1 school, another Jesuit school, Seattle University. So I mean, so also in a past life, I was also I was head of Junior Golf Philippines. So that's my involvement. So I'm always into a lot of things regarding sports. I have a good pulse of what's happening. Yun. So yun ang aking involvement.
As we all know, no, when we are involved in sports, you'll see all the systems and parang ako, you wanna spare the athlete, di ba?
Yeah.
Intricacies of things, no? So how what accounts for your involvement in EJ's case or parang
okay.
EJ?
So what happened kasi I was working with another person. I just won't mention his name now. I'm working with another person in another project, and I know that he knows EJ. And when this thing blew up in the press, that I think that was November 21, I really reached out to him. Pare, I want to help EJ. Kasi I said kasi ang ko, at least I'm a lawyer, I can give them initial guidance lang. So see, they were, sabi ko baka reading from EJ's statements, baka he's not properly guided from a legal perspective. That was my only concern. Maybe give them some advice, point them at the right direction. I had no fantasies or plans of being heavily involved. Talaga lang, just give them initial direction. That's my. I said that they had nobody with them. So I reached out. We had a meeting. Then true enough, wala silang legal advisory services. So yun ang una kong ginagawa. Just very plain. They ask me, what can we do with this? Tama ba to? Ganun lang. It is all advisory, no action. Then this whole thing just blew up. And I said, I cannot handle this. This is not my expertise anymore. So what I can do is I can probably ask some of my friends from the law schools, some colleagues practice, who may want to help you. And that's what I did. So I asked one of my good friends from the law school, Attorney Alex Abisado. He's from Ateneo,
Yes,
pero
yes.
he sa law school, pero he was from UP sa college. Ano siya, Upsilon siya. So I'm giving mad props to Attorney Abisado. And when I asked him, sabi ko, pare, may hingin sana ako sa yung maliit na bagay. May gusto kong tulungan ka na, pero pro bono lang. And without even me telling who is, sabi niya, pare, hulaan ko kung sino yan. Kung sino? Si EJ Obiena yan. sabi ko, pare, sabi ko, salamat. Sabi ko, kahit konting tulong lang dahil wala akong idea. Sabi, no. Hindi konting ibibigay kong tulong, lahat ibibigay ko. And I mean, he has a good heart. His entire firm is behind EJ. He brought in like 7 lawyers na handling EJ's so he's very well, from the legal side, very well taken care of.
Ganun talaga, Bobet. It's really not about us, but it's really yun nga, helping other people. Yun na, yung man for others na mantra natin.
Yes.
Somehow hindi na rin lang natin ginagawa kay EJ to, kung di para sa bayan. Di ba? Parang in the end, ganun na talaga eh.
At saka alam mo, Noel, I've been on that other end of that discussion na naging atleta yung mga anak ko naging national athletes yung mga anak ko So alam ko yun nakikita ko yun. I mentioned to you also, at some point I was also trying to help Heidelin Diaz, di ba? I know you help Heidi, pero at some point I was helping her to get some funding, and I was trying to help her because she needed it Parang di ba yung turo sa atin, di ba? Ginagawa mo dahil kailangan mong gawin And I felt I need to do this for this boy dahil and I always told him, EJ, if there's somebody better than me, just tell me, I'll step aside.
Ito yan.
Technically I'm his legal spokesman. But I haven't said anything yet.
Pero ang maganda nga dyan, parang it's actually his case being embraced by the nation kasi parang
exactly.
Ang buong bansa sinasabi, spare him. Let's really spare him. Let him do his thing for the country. Tama na. Parang wag mo yung awayan, please. Parang ganun yung
Actually, diba, kahit ako yung spokesman niya, I don't say anything I try not to say anything. Kasi sabi ko, if I say anything that ayoko may bumalik kay EJ. He's a very good person, a fine, nice, fine young man. And even before I spoke to him, because I don't know how will this young man be? Ano mang klaseng tao si EJ? First time I spoke to him, the thing that jumped out to me was that he's a decent person. He's a very good person.
Yun.
Yeah, and he was because atleta yan I've been around so many athletes and they couldn't even. They're so focused on what they're doing. They can't see they cannot really articulate better. But EJ is very sharp. He's very sharp. He's articulate. He's charming. When he talks to you, it will jump out. Sabi ko, this kid will go places. Not only in jumping, and tama yung he's a world-class pole vaulter.
He is.
But he's a better person. And that's what I want people to find in this show. That's what I want people to find out about him. EJ Obiena, more than a world-class pole vaulter, is a very, very good person.
Galing. Kasi doon naman tayo umuuwi, di ba?
Yes. Yes.
Yung kahusayan mo, dapat naka-anchor into yung kabutihan.
Yes.
Talaga.
Tsaka di ba? Di ba? Umpisa pa lang mag-aano yung pakiramdam ko kay EJ
Totoo yan.
And I never knew that he was Atenean. I never knew. Alam ko, taga-UST siya
Alam ko rin because I was reading up on him.
And
so how to find out about it?
Okay, so he never mentioned that He never mentioned that to me na taga-Ateneo siya. Then, in one interview ni Jim Lafferty, yung kanyang godfather, yung kanyang good friend, sabi niya, EJ is he spent 4 years in UST. He was in Ateneo for a year. What? You're from Ateneo? Then I called him up, EJ. Sabi ko ganito
sabi ko pala to.
Sabi ko, EJ, Atenista ka pala.
Okay.
Ang sagot niya sa akin, Tito, dati po yun. Sabi ko, EJ, hindi. Pag naging Atenista ka, habang boy ka ng Atenista.
Totoo naman yun. Totoo
And
naman.
sabi ko, and I see, kaya magaan yung loob ko sa iyo eh.
Mhm.
Kaya, and I didn't even know that you were Atenean, pero I see a lot of traits in you
That's
na
true.
nakikita ko sa lahat ng mabuting Atenista eh. Di ba?
That's
Sabi
true.
niya, alam mo, wala ka lang naman diploma eh. Ang
Mhm.
diploma lang, sinasabi ng diploma, nakagraduate ka ng Ateneo.
Totoo
Pero hindi
yun.
ibig sabihin nun, Atenista ka. Di ba? Yung
Totoo
pagiging
yun.
Atenista mo, nasa ugali mo yun, yung kung ano yung
Galing.
ginawa. And hindi, I'm not claiming na he's like that because nag-Ateneo siya ng 1 year. No, hindi naman.
Yeah.
Because he was raised by good parents. He went to a good high school. He
Yeah.
went to a good college. After he went to UST, which is a very good college after Ateneo. Pero I want to think na nakatulong na kung ano ka ngayon, kung ano yung pagiging mabuting tao mo. Kahit paano, ang Ateneo, merong tinulong doon eh. Di ba?
At babalik ka doon talaga eh. Babalik ka talaga doon sa pagiging magbuti mong tao eh. Parang people will forget your honors and yun, parang your medals, kung ilan pa yan. No? But in the end, uy, mabait yung tao. Kaya lang, yun na nga doon ako nalulungkot. People are like poking on his person, his character. Yun ang hindi ko kaya, Bobet. Parang all of us will say, uy, don't answer na all those allegations. Your best weapon always, I always tell my talents this, will be your good work. It has to be good work. So parang at a certain point, hindi ko kaya yung siya yung nagtatanggol. Yung parang gano'n, siya yung magtatanggol or siya yung magiging on the defensive kasi hindi niya kailangan.
Pero Noel, if you follow social media, he doesn't even have to say anything but everybody's behind it.
That's true.
And that's because sabi ko nga, ang problema
through the goodness, no?
Yeah, I mean, yun nga, he's very transparent eh.
Yeah,
it will come out eh. I mean, he cannot lie. If he tries, people will see through it eh. Diba? And if you follow his Facebook page, look at he has never said anything disparaging against people who are accusing him. Wala siyang sinasabing mali. I've spoken to him so many times. Ito totoo to. I mean, this is not press release. Dalawang ba na kami nag-uusap ni EJ, ni minsan hindi yan nagmura. Hindi niya binura, wala siyang sinabing masamang, hindi ba sinabing masama sa mga tao.
Galing, no? Even out of frustration kasi
nakaka-frustrate mo. And that's very very candid, very candid yun. Kami lang tatlo yun, dalawa lang kami. And hindi niya kailangan magkaroon ng facade in front of me. Dahil kami lang eh. Pero natural na hindi lumalabas sa kanya yung galit. Galit siya, he's frustrated, 'di ba? Pero hindi siya hindi siya nagtatanim ng galit. Wala siyang ganun sa katawan eh. Wala. Gusto lang talaga niya
kasi it will affect him, no? Di ba? Makaka-affect him.
Honestly, no. I think this whole thing is affecting him. He's not if you heard na na-injury siya recently. I mean that's a natural reaction of all of this circus happening around him. Hindi siya makafocus sa training. Pero yung bata, hindi nagbalang sinasabing masama yan. Look at all his posts. Sabi ko, EJ, every time you post, please post something about character. Just post something about character. And people will see through character. If every time he posts, the boy gets 50,000 views and likes. It's shared 10,000 times. I don't know, I mean, those who are accusing him of wrongdoing, that's the last thing you want to do is to attack the boy's character.
To put down a person. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because without even him trying, he's winning. He's not saying anything yet. Nothing yet. He's just taking all the blows. He's trying to parry some of it. Pero wala man siya sinasabing kakaiba pa eh. Diba? But the boy's character will shine through. And it's shining through.
Ang galing. And then thank you for being there to ground him, no? Because in the end, parang the good thing is that we framed this whole discussion so as not to nitpick or to like to get into that whole discourse ng pang-away, di ba? Kasi that's the least that we'd want. And then if at all, would really want to like center on values and center on character at this point, na parang he deserves better. He really deserves better. But tell us about the EJ that you know before like we talk to him actually. Because parang a lot of people have like said something about his character, his demeanor. But then what is it that you found in him na parang na pwedeng no magtumulong sa mga taong intindihan his psyche now?
Okay, so you have to remember EJ for the past 5 years has been on a singular mission
Yun nga
And that is to medal in the Olympics.
Yes.
And it's a finely tuned machine. It's a finely tuned machine. So yung buong pagkatao niya, ibinuhos niya sa kanyang goal na makakuha ng medalya sa Olympics para sa Pilipinas. Yan ang kabuong katauhan ni EJ Obiena ngayon. Diba? And he has nagawa niyang ibuhos ang lahat-lahat niya. Diba? Na makuha yun para sa Pilipinas. And kaya ito masakit sa kanya eh. Kasi he's being denied the opportunity to jump, not only to jump, but to jump for his beloved motherland, for the Philippines. That's what's hurting him so much. Eh. The EJ that I know, like what I've said kanina, he's very, very respectful. He's very respectful. When you talk to him, and I've spoken to him for hours, he's very respectful. He's very grounded. Diba? He knows what he wants. He knows his role. Alam niya, and I asked him earlier, EJ, we asked him earlier, EJ, you have to choose. You either be a man, an athlete, or a symbol. And there's no wrong answer. So if you're jumping as a man or as an athlete, you're jumping for yourself, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're jumping for something bigger, then it's also another path.
That's
diba?
True.
Ang mahalaga lang, alam mo kung para saan ang ginagawa mo.
Galing. That's very Atenean. That's very Atenean.
Yes,
Dalawang tanong lang palagi, no? Bakit mo ginagawa at para kanino mo ginagawa?
Yes,
no? Mahalaga yung dalawang tanong na yun.
And that was very clear with him. Kaya ako impressed sa bata. Sabi niya, Tito, I know why I'm jumping and who I'm jumping for. So, yung gano'n, meron siyang goal na gano'n. EJ shows a lot of character. In all of this, diba? His character comes out. Diba? He doesn't say a bad word. He has no mean bone in his body. He could have taken an easier way out. You've heard all the reports that there are countries wooing him.
That's true.
And this all came about once the news came out that his federation is after him. All of these countries came out of the woodwork going after him, and that's common naman in the athletics world. Hindi yan kakaiba. That always happens. It's nothing against the federation, nothing against
but one thing that Ateneo taught us was that we are defined by the things we say no to. Diba?
Yes.
So even people and things, no? When we say no to certain things, yun parang it defines you also eh. So sa kanya malito din yun eh.
No, and si EJ is EJ is angry. He's angry that he has to face this question all the time na do you want to transfer? Nagagalit siya dun eh. Sa kanya and he tells me I'm not funded, even if I'm funded well, I'm not funded like my other competition, but I love jumping for the Philippines. I want to win a medal for the Philippines. So I always tell him, EJ, let your character shine all the time. You are the Olympian eh.
Yes.
Diba? Diba? Show your Olympic character. And that is clear to him eh. That is clear to him. Believe it or not, diba? Kami sa team niya, diba? Sometimes we talk. You told me kanina, thank you for keeping EJ grounded. It's the other way around. He keeps us grounded.
Galing, no?
That boy is he's very sharp. He gets it. He gets whatever this thing is happening to him. He gets everything. And sometimes he's more keen than us. Mas alam niya, he'll make a decision na I think we have to do it this way. Na kahit na tingin na medyo kahit off sa advice o sa consensus ng team niya, we follow him, then later on we're proven na tama si EJ. Diba? People marami nagsasabi, you're getting bad advice from your team. No, EJ knows what he's doing. He's not a small boy. Diba? You're facing an intelligent person. He knows what he is doing, and he knows that he is right, and he will fight because he knows he is right.
Ang maganda pa doon, hindi lang yung tama eh, may konsensya yung bata. Parang, di ba, parang our duty is really pagpapalaki ng konsensya. And parang, when you look at his decisions, parang, oo nga, it's made out of a good conscience. Now, since we cannot talk about the merits of the case, and we've framed this nga na we won't talk about controversies. Let us know lang before we call him in. No? Let us know lang what's new with him and on the case. Parang what you can like share and how the public can support him.
Well, right now, the PSC has requested for a gag. It's not an order, it's a gag request.
And we're following.
Yes, we will not talk about the case.
Yeah.
What I can tell you is what's already written in the papers. EJ made a statement, I think last week, that and our lawyers are on that case, talking to the PSC regarding the offer of mediation. So that's all that I can tell you. It's all there. We don't really telegraph everything to the press. We'd rather keep it quiet. So that's nandun siya, and EJ is not talking about the case. Yun lang. So EJ has a tournament on the 28th. So his focus first is just focusing on that's his season opener. And so he has to focus on that first. That's his main goal now, is on the 28th. He just got surgery, so he's trying to get back. And when you talk to him later, you can ask him about the surgery and what. But he just, I think he's still under rehab now, and he'll start training in a few days. Yeah, no. So yun lang. So
I saw the interview of Dayan Casilejo yesterday. Sabi nga, nilump sila together ni Heidelin, yung dalawang top athletes natin na may pinagdadaanan. EJ with his operation, and Heidelin now with COVID.
COVID,
no?
yes.
So yun talaga parang, and well, before we like call him in, as a person, EJ, you said is full of character, no? But as an athlete, how do you describe him?
Oh, okay. And this is something that people don't know. And let me ask you this. When was the last time we had a top 3 world-ranked athlete in track and field?
Actually, ang tagal. Oo nga. Yeah.
When? Do you have I'll tell you when.
Go.
It was 84 years ago.
Grabe, no? Grabe.
So, 1936 Olympics, Miguel White won the bronze medal in the low hurdles in the Berlin Olympics. That was the last time we had a world-class athlete, top 5 or top 3 in athletics. And you have to remember, pole vaulting is a very technical sport.
I know.
Diba? And being a poor country, we don't have access to all the technical knowledge, all the equipment to produce world-class athletes.
I can't imagine how Bob Jose got into it.
Diba? And it's so hard to produce something like it. And hindi ko sinasabing, I'm not saying this dahil kakaiba si EJ, pero it's dumb luck that we got EJ. Luck of the draw that we have some. And if you look at EJ is world class. He's a world class athlete physically. Physically, he's a world class athlete. He has the fastest speed on the runway among all top 20 athletes in pole vault. Siya ang pinakamabilis.
Grabe, all at 25 years old. How old is he now?
26.
26.
So he's the fastest. He's the fastest on the runway. Meaning he can get the best. He can get the best momentum. Okay. Sabi ng coach niya, he's also probably one of the strongest, physically strongest. So he's gifted. It's not gifted. It's not all pure gifted. He also worked hard at it. You have to remember, EJ has been in Italy for 5 years alone. Alone. And then when people say, oh, Italy naman yan you're in Europe Pero yung lugar niya, probinsya yun, there's nothing there. And he's alone, training for 5 years. Diba? Meron siyang, he can tunnel vision and he can focus, diba? And sacrifice everything for a singular goal. He's that kind of mentally is very, very strong.
And let's tell him, Bobet, parang the hardest part in an athlete's life is really not winning the medals. It's really the training.
Yes.
We know that. Do you know what's scarier, Noel? Do you know what's even scarier?
It's not, he's way, ano pa siya he's not yet near his potential. He has a long way to go. If EJ Obiena one day becomes the top pole vaulter in the world, we will not be surprised.
Pero yun nga, kailangan pa a lot of like systems and a lot of a teamwork actually yung dapat mangyari dyan So well, you have to introduce him. Magandang moniker sa kanya sa Europe. Ano tawag sa kanya sa Europe?
Yes. Nagulat ako sabi ko. EJ is known in Europe as the Filipino eagle.
That's nice. Not only as the national bird, but someone that takes pride. We take pride in
because he
putting him
soars now
again.
Kasi I think they told him he soars when he goes over the bar. So they call him the
yan
Philippine eagle because he flies over the bar. So how apt, di ba? Kung
At
sabi ko
least he's smiling na now. Well, it's been a long time since we've seen him smiling on TV.
Yeah.
Everyone will just want like tell him, "Huy, you are supported and you are loved in the Philippines." Now we have here Ernest John Obiena, EJ in Germany. No, how are you now?
Hi po. Can you hear me po?
Yes. Good afternoon. So welcome back to Ateneo. Well, it's a homecoming of sorts, and welcome to a good talk in the Philippines, whereby you're not asked controversies. We're just here to like talk about something more inspiring about your life and your character. EJ, how are you now? I just like saw the report with Dayan Casillejo yesterday, and you said, good that the operation's done, but you have to stay there for like 5 more days or so.
Yeah, I'm good. I actually just woke up. Sorry. Everything's okay. I'm doing my rehab. I'm gonna be off again for my rehab in maybe 2 hours, 2 or 3 hours. Then yeah, I'm working on getting back on track. Really, just getting healthy again. Just being able to do what I need to do.
So this whole operation, you had it planned, or it just came because you like experienced some aches? Ano yan? Nakaplano ba talaga yan? Or, well, you just have to like do it na now?
No, I was so good. I was fine. I was doing PRs early in the season, so I was really, how do you say? I was really doing well until maybe like mid December, and then I started, like really having some issues and felt like there's some nagging pain on my knee. So I thought it was nothing. I had an initial MRI scan. There was nothing. But then after, so I actually trained exactly on December 25, and then I voted on the 26th. 26th, I had like some nagging pain. I said, I had rest. I think I recovered. This is not muscle pain. This is something else. So I called my doctor in Germany. I said, can I fly there? Can I actually get something done and like actually understand what's wrong? And then he said, yeah, the office is off, but I can help you. He said that we can go to get this done, get the scans, get the x-rays and this open MRI machine. So it still wasn't very clear. So at that time, I had the MRI scan. I sent it back to my doctor as well. He's also from Ateneo. Dr. Andrew Tavera. I asked him, for a second opinion, and then I asked my friend as well in Dubai. I said, "Can you get another opinion on this?" And because my doctor here in Germany says it's better to do the surgery. And at first, everybody had their own opinion, and then when they see the open MRI scan, they said, "Yeah, there's something wrong with the meniscus. The best thing to do is get it repaired or get it fixed or get it something." But then we still don't really know. So I asked the doctor here. I said, when is the earliest schedule that we can have? And then he said, 11 of January. But then, of course, procedures take cost. So I didn't really know until morning of the 10th. I was literally drove me to the airport. And we're just hoping, okay, we need to book a flight, try to get in there. Italy was very advanced. Don't waste any time. We're time is of the essence. Yeah, he said, just get it done. If it's the cost, I'll handle the cost.
Grabe, no? Parang everything
had,
ayos talaga ng Diyos. Logistics,
yes.
Even the health part. Andrew Tavera, I think, small world, was my student. He's a doctor. And then I think he just tested positive. So parang let's pray for him, no? Parang ngayon in the end, parang inaayos ng Diyos lahat, no? Parang how's that, Bobet? When he has those needs, are you consulted or do you talk as a team kung saan niya kukunin yung resources since the government's not paying for anything now?
Well, yeah, of course. Actually, yung pain na sinasabi ni EJ's, I think I'm one of the first people he told about the pain. Sabi niya, "Tito, sumasakit yung tuhod ko eh." Sabi ko, "Tumigil ka tumalon ha." Ay ko, EJ, pag may masakit, tumigil ka. So of course, he will continue training. Pero pag nasabi siya sa amin, we will try, we ask around for help, di ba? We will try to, I mean, nothing against, I have nothing against the government or the PSC, di ba? Of course, they have to follow process, di ba? We respect the process. Pero we have to help him kasi he needs this eh. Saka naayusin yan yung kung popondohan siya ng gobyerno, ng PSC, wala namang problema yun eh. We can do that later. Ang mahalaga, our goal is to have EJ we need his knee operated on kasi he has to jump. And EJ was able, so we were doing things on our part, but EJ was able to do it on his own to find bridge funding to have his operation. So
but EJ, pag ganun ba? Pag ganun when you have those injuries and then merong medical procedure, hindi kayo tumitigil pa rin sa pagtitrain, di ba? Ako si Heidelin, parang she looks forward to that part of a day when she just trains kahit gaano kapagod or kahit ano nararamdaman niya. Are you like that too? Kahit sabihin ni Bobet na huwag ka nang tumalon, tatalon ka pa rin, di ba?
Kasi we're at that level, sports, this is a very unpopular opinion now. So I think anything that in excess, it's damaging. It's not healthy anymore. At that elite level, you're pushing at that. You're basically knocking at that door every single day. So you never really know. That's why we have physios. We have doctors. We have the team that would actually tell us. Because you need to keep knocking on that door if you want to be the best. You need to keep on pushing, and that how do you say that breaking point of doing the smart thing to do at the full potential of it or like overdoing it. There's a really fine line. So I think that's what it takes for us. So I think all of the athletes, like especially elite athletes, would understand what I said. Like, being elite doesn't necessarily mean it's healthy for you. But we do it because we love doing it.
That's true. Next. Yung systems that we were talking about kanina ni Bobet. You would have to have a team, di ba? Well, he was talking about you being there in Europe for how many years already alone. But then, well, you have a coach, but you also have other people in a team that you need to like maintain or sustain, di ba? So how is it with your case?
My team wasn't built in a day. They're built many years. Yeah. One of my physios, his dad was actually my physio before him. It's like this is not. They worked back in 2020 without pay. When payment were delayed, they were the first one affected. But they were not like, hey, they're not like, hey, we're not gonna help you because there's no money. Of course, they need money to put food on the plate. But these are the people that care for me deeply, and I trust them with my life, and so far they're doing the same. They're just like, we're with you. We're gonna help you. We're gonna get through this. We're gonna find a way to make this work.
Ang galing, no? Ang galing.
That's the support group.
That's it. Parang the people here should appreciate that there has got to be a team handling an elite athlete like you. No, like so. Can you tell the people how many people are there in your team and what specific roles do they have?
So the people I deal with, like let's say in a week, is my coach. Of course, I see him every day, and then my physios. I have an osteopath because I wasn't the luckiest athlete. I have a couple injuries, so I need some tweaking here and there. And then I have my psychologist, that keeps me sane, especially at this time.
Do you have a nutritionist also?
Bro?
Do you need
I have a
nutritionist also? Yeah.
Yeah, so my nutritionist actually works pro bono. She's the wife of Jim Lafferty, so let's just say she trained me to know what to eat and what not to eat for like solid 6 months when I was rehabbing for my knee. I needed to stay healthy. I can't run, so there's not much cardio that I can do. So I need to keep my body fat still low. So I was eating like she was literally, we're going to like a restaurant or a buffet or something. She will be the one putting the food on my plate. So these are the things that you need to eat. So every time you go, that's what you need to eat. This is the portions that you need to eat. So now, of course, like there are things that I need to weigh still, but like I've been doing it for so long that I can somehow eyeball it. And he still doesn't. She doesn't believe that I can eyeball it, but yeah, I can. I can see it. Like okay, okay. That's fine. And I kind of learn
Follow
into
them.
it, you
Do
know.
you follow them always? Kasi meron din kayong,
Of
well,
course.
the athletes would have their own, di ba, may sarili rin kayong style or may sarili rin kayong diskarte eh.
So you know, in 5 years, I was single-handed. You know, I was just single-minded going to Tokyo. After Tokyo, yeah, they let me. They said, you know, you can have a month of like just do what you want.
And
I
do
was
what
like-
you want means what? And we want to know that. Do what you want means eating
Like I can,
steak. What?
yeah, like eating whatever. You know, I was like, I miss some things, but at the same time, I've been doing it for 5 years. It's more of a routine thing. It's actually now harder for me to move away from it than to actually stick to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Heidi
it's
were
been
telling us,
ingrained.
Sina Heidi were telling us that you weren't able to like go the rounds of the Japanese restaurants. Were you able to do that when you were in Tokyo? Hindi rin.
No. We're basically accommodation or hotel or the Olympic Village stadium.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
We can't go anywhere. It's
I know.
it's a very different Olympic Games from what I heard and what I expected. And first of its kind.
Yeah. Yeah. So paano ka? Ano yung mga bisya ni EJ that people will parang ought to know na ordinaryong tao rin pala siya.
I like to sleep a lot. I tend to be, you know, I'm the type of person that when I have things to do, I feel like I need to do it. So that's, and then how I compensate on that when I see messages that I need to deal with, I just don't read it. I go to bed. That's not a good trait, you know. Pero yeah, so every day.
Lost sleep. Talagang tulog ka ng 8 to 10 hours, ganun ba 'yon?
Oh yes, that's part of my, how do you say? That's part of my job to get that enough
hindi
sleep.
natin kaya yan kasi when you grow older, parang kahit anong oras yung tulog, gigising ng alas 7 eh. Parang yun eh.
No, kasi ito kang si EJ, di ba? He's in Italy, may time difference. Pero you ask him, every time he calls me, I pick up the phone. Sabi niya, Tito, don't you sleep? I barely sleep anymore. Lucky na yung 4, di ba? Si EJ minsan, 4 hours is a luxury.
Sa Pilipinas, gano'n. Kahit anong oras yung tulog, alas 7, alas 8 gising.
Oo, 7:30, gising na ako. Of course, you have this splitting headache the whole day, di ba? Pero, gising ka.
Tuloy. So you 8 to 10 hours. If not, if you don't have it, masungit ka?
Sorry?
No, pag 8 to 10 hours, hindi mo nakuha, ano yun? You're sluggish, masungit ka? What?
Not really. It's more, all my injuries that I've gotten, it's either from like lack of sleep. I believe, you know, like I've seen it. Kasi when you lack sleep, it's your body's like really slow. You know, it does what it needs to do. But yung reflexes mo, that split second decision that would injure you or not injure you, that's clouded, very clouded when you're lack of sleep, especially in this, you know, like we go to training, we're not always fresh, you know, we're not always recovered 100%. Of course, we need to keep pushing that. You know, we need to keep training. So that's part of it, is recovery, and to make sure that, you know, we're doing the best that we can to recover. So I had 3 major injuries. I would say I first year in Ateneo. Back in 2012, I broke my tibia and fibula because I flew to Singapore for a competition. So the flight that was booked for me was like, I think midnight in Philippines. And then it's like a 3.5-hour flight. I arrived to Changi Airport around like 3, got out at like around 4. And then I got in the hotel at like 5:30. And then we had like this technical meeting. Yeah, I had maybe 3. Lucky if I had 4. And then I had the competition 2 days after. I needed to train. I trained. One small mistake. I was supposed to be fine. Twisted it. broken tibia and fibula. Then my next injury was my ACL. I was basically a week, a week in from my flight from Italy to Manila. It's the same thing. I was supposed to be a normal jump. And that sense of, I said, like that split second decision, wrong decision, broke my ACL. Same thing, I believe, with this knee. I was losing sleep. I was stressing out. I was really having a hard time balancing everything that's happening. Meniscus problem. So I think I learned my lesson.
Lesson learned, Bobet, too. We have to honor sleep. Really have good sleep, no? Okay. Mahirap ano yun. Pero I told Bobet kanina, EJ, that really the pinakamalungkot na part ng buhay ng isang athlete during the training. And I know that of Heidelin also. It's when you're training alone with your coach. Na wala yung public seeing the hardships that you go through, no? Tell us about your training for like 5 years, sabi nga, no? Well, away from the country, and how has that been for people to understand yun, parang the way you think, the way you act on things, because parang you're pretty much doing everything independently, no?
I think it sounds so like very heroic, but it's not really. In my opinion, it's a bit I would say a bit of redemption, a bit of selfishness, a bit of pride and honor na rin. Kasi you need to kind of go back to my story. Why am I so single-mindedly obsessed with Olympics? So 2016, I missed that by 10 centimeters. I missed it. And I missed it because posts in the season got broken. My season got delayed, this and that. 2017, I got injured. I tore my ACL and MCL. I was not supposed to be back. Never in the history of, especially in the Philippines, was an athlete who torn an ACL and MCL be back better than they were. So I was not supposed to be here. I had a decision to make in 2017. I asked myself, when I grow old, like 50, 60, and just look back and decide, if I decide to go back to school and finish my degree, it's not a bad life to live. Yeah. But will I be able to sleep at night? Not this thing haunting me that, did you even try to get back? Did you even try to go to that dream of yours to be an Olympian? And then, I felt it. Like even now speaking, like I'm having goosebumps. Like I felt it. It's like, I can't, I'll regret it for the rest of my life. I'll be a grumpy old man. Yeah, I'll need to do this. I had arguments with my parents. Said, "Are you're out of your mind. You're taking a risk of your future." And I said, I have a deadline. If I don't qualify for Tokyo, I'll leave 2019. If I do very poorly in Tokyo, I'll leave it at that. I need to know that I tried. That's why I said, I'll do everything that I can. This is a second chance opportunity. I'll do everything that I can to be in Tokyo. And then luckily, 2019 was an amazing year, qualified, and it felt like a redemption. And I'm back.
You were vindicated.
Better. Exactly. I was vindicated. And I was like, okay, now that I'm going to Tokyo, make the best out of it. And then, COVID hit. And then like there's a 2 weeks of that I was just like, hey, what's happening now? My dream again is in out of my hands. And then my coach went to me, you're an athlete, dude. You need to train every single day. It doesn't matter if you have competition tomorrow. It doesn't matter if you competition in 4 years. You got to be better today than you are yesterday. Yeah. So I stick to it. And 2020 was like, it showed me that I can actually medal. It showed me that I'm actually there. I'm a world-class athlete on my field. I'm top 10. I'm striking distance. And then 2021 season showed me even more. Like I'm winning competitions, I'm winning championships, and all of a sudden I'm like within that top 3 podium in Tokyo. And that's when I start to see, I want that medal, and I believe I can. And that's when everything kind of materialized. I was just like, it's not impossible for me to get that gold. It's not impossible for me to be the best in the world. And as I said, I'm not supposed to be here. There are obstacles that happen. And, I chose my battles because I was single-handedly focused on Tokyo and performing in the best that I can come that day. Unfortunately, God has other plans. Let's just say that, and it didn't play the way I wanted it to play. But I think He has reasons for it, and I'm just sticking to it. And yeah, I mean,
Galing, ang galing. Yeah,
I've been lost.
Let's continue from there. No, what were the lessons learned from the Tokyo Olympics? I'm sure, parang we were all cheering for you then, and then there was a certain tinge of parang, uy, may character nga talaga. Sabi nga ni Bobet, may character nga talaga yung EJ kasi he's the one fighting for the rules, di ba? Parang you're the ones asking kung tama ba tong yung process, no? And that's very Atenean when you ask not just of the results but of the process of the rules. Ang galing. Ano yung parang what like prompted you to like really go and ask yung about the rules and the process of the competition? Was it there? Was there anyone doing it for you?
No, not really. So it was me. What's funny, I think I've always done that in some shape or form. Like in Doha, in the Asian Championships, I had like another let's just say like discussion with my coach. Hates it when I do this. He hates it. But I said I need to do it. But then that an Asian Championship, it started raining. Where it started to drizzle a little bit of rain. So I said, I'll pass. And then they didn't hear me. It's the officials. They didn't hear me. They counted my attempt. I didn't even step on the track.
Okay.
So I was just like, what is this? And I was losing it. I was angry. I was like, I needed that attempt. So, but then I basically won the meet. And then in Tokyo, I think it was just highlighted. I have no idea why it was highlighted. My auntie was saying, during that
asking for the rules. So sabi ko gano'n, ay ibang klase rin to, because you know that, Bobet, no? When you approach a teacher and then ask what are the parameters in an exam, parang gano'n, di ba? Parang gano'n yung nangyari. Sabi ko, ay may sariling isip tong bata. Parang is that parang classic EJ?
A bit, yeah. Maybe that's why I rub people the wrong way, sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah. So what happened? So I had 1 minute. You have 1 minute for your attempt, and I believe in that rule. 1 minute should be uninterrupted with nothing. That's my time to jump, and I believe that's my time to jump. And then the bar was moving, and my time was running. I was like, so technically, that time while the bar was moving, that's time taken away from my attempt. So that's not right. And I needed to.
That's what you wanted.
Yeah, I mean, I got the decision overruled, and it's very shameful. You shouldn't do that. I don't know.
No. What you were saying, it would take someone really excellent to question rules, di ba? Kasi parang if you don't know anything, you just have to follow them blindly. But now here's a person, that's what we want, the critical thinking also. Now parang, and eventually you have to assert what is right. So the Philippines are di ba? Yan yung problema natin as a country. We just like accept everything and not question authority. But it takes another kind of excellence to do that. So you're about to say something.
Yeah, Noel, I think what's it's amazing that EJ spoke up. It's even more amazing that he got his way. That's amazing. When they gave him an extra jump, parang wow, parang kami nanalo di ba? Parang look at this Asian athlete, di ba, in the centerpiece event of his sport, fighting for his rights, and he got it. He was given the fourth jump.
And Bobet, yun yung kailangan natin sa bansa natin ngayon. Di ba? More people thinking of what is good, not only for yourself but for everyone, and then really challenging authority to be better. And you're not about to put them down anyway. It's just getting what you deserve.
I think EJ has a follow-up story. EJ, kwento mo yung what happened in France after that,
Okay.
diba yung there's a follow-up story on that. But this is a nice story.
It's become a pattern also that people.
No, this is a nice story.
Signature
That's
EJ.
story. No, yeah, yes.
Oh, geez.
No.
So that's like a running joke now on
Yeah.
on the circuit. You know, they're joking. Not the nicest joke to throw around. So like one of the
learn from.
athletes before. So I was after Tokyo, I was lost. You know, I was really lost. There was not that fire anymore, and I think I needed that. I think that's God's way, you know, to kind of poke me around and like, hey, wake up. So one guy randomly says, you know, you're in France now. You can't ask for fourth attempts here. And like in a very derogatory way.
And what was your
You know,
quip?
it's a very derogatory way. No, I didn't answer. I just laughed. Like, but I felt that it hit me. It's like, wow, you know, wow. And then at that day, I was like warming up. I was having the worst warm-ups ever. I was not going to the pit. I told my physio, I said, I think I'll call it the competition. But then I said, no. I need to fight this. I said, nobody in this country would beat me today. Nobody. I'm gonna show you what I am. I need to be. You know, like it woke me up. I was again like, no, I'm gonna fight to win this. I'm gonna fight to win this. This is not gonna be one of those meets that I'm just gonna sit around and like, yeah, thanks for that praise. You know, I'm gonna prove you wrong. I'm gonna beat you, and I'm gonna beat you nicely. You know, like maybe that's part of being an athlete. A bit of a, you know, there's that side of me, a bit of an ass, and basically, like what the announcer said, you know, I threw the gauntlet down. So I was leading. So it was me and the world record holder at the last. You know, he had one attempt to beat me. If he didn't make it, I'm gonna win that. And I'm gonna win that. And it's one of the best competitions, I would say, one of the most memorable. And I love the part when so I felt like it was me against some group of people there. So the previous record holder was sitting at the side, and he was like really just relaxing. You know, he's already out of the competition. He's just relaxing there. And then when I took the lead, and like it's actually there's a big chance I'm gonna win it, and they saw it. Everybody stood up and like went to one guy, and like they started telling him what to do, like how to adjust the standards and everything, you know, just to make sure that he wins. And that and the guy who told me that like you can't ask for fourth attempt, I saw him panicking. That in itself is fulfillment, you know, that like I that felt good. That felt good. Sorry, that sounds very so
really part of it is my conditioning.
Yeah. And and EJ didn't win that event, but then I would expect that EJ would say, "Oh, I felt bad that I didn't win." No, pero ang takeaway niya is that I made that world record holder stand up and panic. That was his takeaway from that. I made them all panic with my chance at winning. Diba? So he has that attitude.
And value you more, no? Parang it's really not just winning the medal, no? It's really how you play it. And then probably after that, you may not have won the medal or won top honors, but then they saw you for what you were worth. Parang, and it's different.
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah, it's not bad. I like, you know, the competition like that. Memorable.
Nice to be seeing you smiling like this. We will continue this talk, but the next part will be going back to Ateneo, talking about your Ateneo days. I want to ask, siguro now that you've explained the context whereby you were like training vis-a-vis doing your academics. Sana your teachers were more understanding during that time to know that you went through all these, no? We'll talk about them plus all the learnings you had as an Atenean when we come back. So Level Up will be back with EJ Obiena and Bobette and a lot of other anchors of radyo-katipunan. You know what? Ang saya, let's keep it at that. That pace
Nice,
and that.
EJ.
Paulit-ulit kang nagplano. Paulit-ulit ngunit lagi din naman nababago. Wag mo na kayang palampasin, wag na wag mo na kayang palampasin, wag na wag mo na kayang patagalin. Tenanaw mo na gawin mo na. Lumilipad hanggang ulan, tumiting ka, matutupad. Go nang go nang go nang go nang go nang go lang go. Go nang go nang go nang go nang go nang go lang go. Taon-taon na lang pareho din ang iyong pinaplano. Ngayon mo na kailangan ng totoong pagbabago. Wag mo na kayang palampasin, wag na wag mo na kayang palampasin, wag na wag mo na kayang patagalin. Tenanaw mo na gawin mo na. Lumilipad hanggang ulan, tumiting ka, matutupad. Go nang go nang go nang go nang go nang go lang go. Go nang go nang go nang go nang go nang go lang go. Para sipagin na natin to, para samahan niyo na ako. Wag mo na kayang palampasin, wag na wag mo na kayang palampasin, wag na wag mo na kayang patagalin. Tenanaw mo na gawin mo na. Lakas ng kalooban, lakas ng katawan, wala kang uurungan pag yun man ang dumaan. Sarili pagbutihin, maging isip at damdamin, lahat sila'y ayain ng mag-level up na din. Go nang go nang go nang go nang go nang go lang go. Go lang nang go. Go nang go nang go nang go nang go nang go lang go. Go lang nang go. Lumilipad hanggang ulan, tumitingkad, matutupad. Go nang go nang go nang go nang go nang go lang go. Go nang go nang go nang go nang go nang go lang go. Go nang go nang go nang go nang go nang go lang go. Go nang go nang go nang go nang go nang go lang go. Paulit-ulit kang nagplano. Level up. Paulit-ulit kang nagplano. Paulit-ulit ngunit lagi din naman nababago. Wag mo na kayang palampasin, wag na wag mo na kayang palampasin, wag na wag mo na kayang patagalin. Tenanaw mo na gawin mo na. Lumilipad hanggang ulan, tumiting ka, matutupad. Go nang go nang go nang go nang go nang Wag mo na kayang palampasin, wag na wag mo na kayang palampasin, wag na wag mo na kayang patagalin, tinanaw mo na gawin mo na. Lakas ng kalooban, lakas ng katawan, wala kang uurungan pag yumanang dumaan. Sarili pagbutihin, maging isip at damdamin, lahat sila'y ayain ng mag-level up na din. Go nang go, nang go, nang go, nang go, nang go lang, go lang nang go. Go nang go, nang go, nang go, nang go, nang go lang, go lang nang go. Level up, lumilipad. Level up, hanggang ulap. Level up, tumitingkad. Level up, matutupad. Go nang go, nang go, nang go, nang go, nang go lang, go. Go nang go, nang go, nang go, nang go, nang go lang, go. Level nang go, nang go, nang go, nang level nang go lang, go. Level nang go, nang go, nang go, nang level nang go lang, go. Paulit-ulit, ulit-ulit kang nagplano. Level up! Paulit-ulit, ulit-ulit kang nagplano. Paulit-ulit, ngunit lagi din naman nababago. Wag mo na kayang palampasin, wag na wag mo na kayang palampasin, wag na wag mo na kayang patagalin, tinanaw mo na gawin mo na. Level up, lumilipad. Level up, hanggang ulap. Level up, tumitingkad. Level up, matutupad. Go nang go, nang go, nang go, nang go, nang go lang, go. Go nang go, nang go, nang go, nang go, nang go lang, go. Taon na lang pareho din ang iyong pinaplano. Ngayon mo na kailangan ng totoong pagbabago. Wag mo na kayang palampasin, wag na wag mo na kayang palampasin, wag na wag mo na kayang patagalin, tinanaw mo na gawin mo na. Level up, lumilipad. Level up, hanggang ulap. Level up, tumitingkad. Level up, matutupad. Go nang go, nang go, nang go, nang go, nang go lang, go. Go nang go, nang go, nang go, nang go, nang go lang, go. Para sipagin na natin to. Para samahan niyo na ako. Wag mo na kayang palampasin, wag na wag mo na kayang palampasin, wag na wag mo na kayang patagalin, tinanaw mo na gawin mo na. Lakas ng kalooban, lakas ng katawan, wala kang uurungan pag yumanang dumaan. Sarili pagbutihin, maging isip at damdamin, lahat sila'y ayain ng mag-level up na din. Go nang go, nang go, nang go, nang go, nang go lang, go lang nang go. Go nang go.
Okay. Oh, here in Level Up, we celebrate who we were, what we love, and what we stand for, and what's next. And that is what we will cover now. So that here's a looking back part of Ateneo. So with EJ Obiena and then Bobet. We welcome some of the anchors of radyo-katipunan. We'll be joined by our engineer, assistant coordinator also of the station. Let's start with the youngest one who's on Zoom already. Max Cruz. Max Cruz, good afternoon. Hello.
Good afternoon, Tito Noel.
How
Everyone,
are
hi.
you? How are you?
I'm
Me
okay.
Too. Bobet, probably my batchmate, and then your batchmate, EJ. But if there's anything, what do you want to tell him at this point?
Okay, I'm actually curious since we were just talking about Ateneo. What were your favorite spots on campus and what were like lessons you learned from being in Ateneo? Like not necessarily math or English, but life lessons you got from being there.
Oh,
And that was
bigat
how
ka.
many years ago? That was how many years ago, EJ?
um, 20, almost 9 years na. Wow.
Talaga? You entered the
2012 yan.
campus when? You entered the campus when?
2012 po.
For context, so 2012, so yung 2012. So Bobet, ikaw rin, sabihin mo na rin. Kailan ka na sa campus?
Ganito na lang, I'll date myself. When I was in campus, Faura was brand new.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Natawa si Maxine sa kasi. No, yun ang sinasabi sa ORSM namin eh. Our new buildings, Faura. Kailangan kami nung sa tour namin eh.
That's the computer,
building. How old are you? Faura was a new building when I was a freshman.
Okay, that is our computer building yung Faura po.
Yeah.
But so 2012, what were the things in Ateneo then? Did you have the Pangilinan Hall yet? Wala pa.
Yes, meron na po.
Meron na.
Building na po ata siya.
Building na siya.
na
Kasi
po.
sa amin ni Bobet, Colico Hall pa lang yon. So, that's where my office was. So, yun, wala pa yun. Tapos, meron na ba kayong, there's a Lopez Hall, di ba? Eugenio Lopez
Yes po,
Hall.
meron na po. I
Abutan na
remember
rin.
that.
So, you're
Meron na
relatively new. So, magka-batch nga kayo ni Maxine. So, go. Dun sa question ni Max, memorable spots.
Library, I think. Kasi I think that's one of the best library I've ever been. And I've been to multiple libraries now in different countries. Still one of the best.
Pero sandali lang, what did you do in the library? Kasi maraming nasa library lang natin natutulog din, ha? Aminin mo yan.
Half there. Sometimes nag-aaral, minsan natutulog.
Yun eh. Parang it's the best place also to. Pero yun yung pinakamaganda at pinaka-equip at pinakamadaling mahanap yung hahanapin mo, di ba?
Yeah. It's a really one of the best. And for lunch, kasi, so if you have money, you go to JSEC. If you don't have money, you stay in Gonzaga, di ba? So, nandun si Kuya selling dirty ice cream and, everything. So,
and fruit shakes. Parang sabi naman ni Bobet, we had the restaurants, we had Bon on the Run. That is an old thing. And we had Pampangenia when we had 100 peso meals. Yun, when it was our time.
Yung Pampangenia, rite of passage yan eh. So you have to eat. It's a restaurant outside Ateneo, right beside a vulcanizing shop.
Yes, sa may talyer.
So may talyer. May katabing talyer yun. So kasama sa initiation yun.
So EJ, saan ka kumakain? Hindi ka sa Comdep? Hindi ka kumakain doon kay Manang, the pork chop?
Hindi po. Sa Gonzaga po. Kasi sometimes we get like parang food stubs. For athletes, we get food stuff. So there's like this, I don't remember the name of the stall. So they give you 2 cups of rice and 1 veggie and then like the meat, so that's
may ganun
free.
Pala.
But I know, it's one of ramen gravy. Not if my nutritionist now is listening, it's not the best thing to eat, but you're young, everything is getting burnt and it's just good. Everything's just good.
I know. Then the next question, Max, is bukod sa tambayan pala, EJ, ano tambayan mo? Library and what? Did you have any organization? None?
None. I didn't really get into it. I remember Ajma. That's for the parties. So I know, but I wasn't part of any organizations. I think first year I really avoided any organizations because I knew what I'm kind of getting into. So I said I need to kind of still work on my let's say my athletic career as being an athlete and student. So,
but were you a dormer? Were you a dormer?
No.
Your house inside the campus? Where did you stay?
I stayed at home. So yung everyday travel, I think that's if I can go back in time, that's one of the things I would change. Because I was roughly like maybe 2 hours and a half a day just for traveling. So I ride, so I live in Arpapa. So I'm walking distance from that Arpapa station. I ride that. I go to Doroteo Jose. And from Doroteo, say I changed going to Recto. Then from Recto, going to Katipunan. Then from Katipunan, you ride the jeep, or if you have trike, so
Yan.
ganun.
Yan, Noel, no? Nung sinabi niya ko,
Sabi.
EJ, Atenista ka talaga. Dahil Atenista lang gumagamit ang term na trike eh. From Katipunan. So sabi ko, I ride the trike. You're from Ateneo, yo.
Totoo yun. Pero yun, at least alam mo paano mag-commute, no? Si Maxine taga-Alabang. Yeah. So parang buti nga may online education ngayon, no? Parang ang hirap lang talaga, EJ. Grabe yung sacrifice ng mga, lalo na mga estudyante at athletes na katulad mo, no? To be in school on time despite the traffic. During your time, talaga grabe naman yung traffic. Naabutan pa namin ni Bobet yung love bus noon na libre pa doon sa campus eh. Pero sa inyo wala nang ganon. So anyway, we'll have more questions. Here's ito banal to, medyo he's a head of the Jesuit Music Ministry, si Lester Mendiola. Lester, good afternoon. Medyo mixed to ha. He's also from UST. He graduated from UST and is now working in Ateneo. So yan, Lester, shoot the question.
Hi Noel. Good afternoon everyone.
Good afternoon.
I know EJ is also a Tabashan, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yun. Wala lang.
Will you put him on the spot? Will you put him on the spot and say, anong mas okay na years? Go.
I don't want to put him on the spot kasi I might need to answer the same question din.
Okay.
Siguro ang question ko lang is the Patafa fiasco and all that. What is your reaction with the overwhelming support of Filipinos in the internet as well as the Philippine Olympic Committee?
You can't put it into words talaga. So when this thing blew up, I was really just, I'm done. Yeah, I was just like, this is it for me. I think I'm just like, I'm gonna get ruined. But people see it. I think I was talking to my aunt yesterday. Actually, he was like, I was really praying for you to win Tokyo, but na-highlight pa yung you arguing to the officials. And then now she's saying, I think there's a reason why that got highlighted. Like God has a reason for that. You're meant for something more. You're meant to, like do something. We don't know yet, but you're being used by God. So I would say, I'm very overwhelmed. That's one of the words I would describe how, the Filipino people that's been, really supported me. I was never really my classmates. I was never really this, like they would say, like, charming. Like people would be attracted to what I do. I'm more of a loner talaga. But I don't know what drove words or some words. Sorry.
Okay.
No. Yeah. Thank you. I'm sorry. Sorry. No, because I'm staying. I'm staying in. Sorry. I'm sorry. I got interrupted. I was staying in like an Airbnb here kasi. So, yeah. So they need to ask me if I'm actually going.
No problem.
What was I saying? I'm kind of lost.
It wasn't overwhelmed by the Filipino people's support.
Okay. Yeah. So I don't know what they saw, but they probably saw something, and I hope they saw it for the right things. But then again, I have this platform. I want to clear it. I'm not asking for special treatment just because I'm like the Filipino people are with me. I'm asking just for the truth to come out, and that's it. No special treatment because I'm number 5, number 3 in the world. Even if I'm the best pole vaulter, no special treatment. I just want the truth. And I think the Filipino people know what's the truth, and I think they see who is telling the whole story. And I'm just really overwhelmed by it. I can't put it into words. It's really I just can't. It's indescribable.
But whose support mattered really to you? Yung tipong in the end, EJ, parang oo, lahat ang nagprofesa ng support sa yung mga tao, no? Pero kanino talaga yung pool of support, yung core mo, na pag hindi nila binigay yung support, you would like break?
That's a hard one. I think right now the core team that's helping me out, like Jim Lafferty, Tito Bobet, and my lawyers. Right now, I can't really deal with all of the things that's going on. But I think even when things go south and things, let's say, doesn't pan out, or let's say I lose this battle, and there's, I don't know, like I don't think I'm at that point yet. That I'm actually just gonna break and just fall down and crash. Like I felt that, but every now and then, I get this. It feels like it's bigger than me. I get this sense that it's bigger than me, and then
that's true.
That just snaps me back and like, okay, just do what you need to do. Just take it one day at a time. So I can't say exactly who or what or like that specific supporter that I can live without. I don't think there is. Of course, my team. I respect them. They make me capable of getting through this. But I don't see a specific person like at the moment. Oh wait, my coach, of course. Wait, because I think he's the first one who defended me publicly. So yeah, that's one. But still, even so, I think I'm so confident in it because I know it's the truth, and I hold the truth in my side, and I don't think I should have any like worry about who's supporting me or who's not. And I would just hope that I'll be able to get that out one day and clear this all. And I think it's a pretty straightforward picture.
Yes. And there's no losing this battle. For you to have taken it up already is something. Parang for you to have articulated what you were feeling or how you're feeling and what you're going through is already an achievement in itself. So, and for the Filipino people to like see it and like support you is something else. So, yun. Anyway, let's go back to like real good talk like Maxine. No, ako nga, where does that come from? Before Maxine asks more questions about school, no? Saan nanggaling yun? Yung pagiging palaban ni EJ, pagiging focus niya, pagiging no nonsense na hindi mo ako pwede maapi. Where did it come from?
I think I've been surrounded by people similar. Like hindi sila nagpapaapi. And I think I studied in Chiang Kai-shek College. It's a Chinese school. It's a very we're raised we're very capable students, but at the same time we're very capable to actually submit as well to the people around that. In Ateneo, I remember my English 10. I was not proficient in English before, so I was in English 10. I remember my professor, Miss April
Fernandez.
Miss April was very, I believe so. So she was very open to, if you want to ask, if you want to just raise your hand. And I noticed that's when I started to actually, learn to ask questions. And
that's true.
Not be shy to ask, like, because she said, if she really knows what she's saying, whatever question you tell her, she'll be able to answer. So that's what happened there. And then, as I said, I got out of Ateneo. Then the same trait I kind of brought in to my alma mater. So I had this accounting.
Talaga yung UST.
No, not yet. So my high school. High school. So I had like Chiang Kai-shek.
Pero sandali lang, Chiang Kai-shek, alam ko magaling sa math. Pero ba't ka nag-iinan sa math?
Well, I don't know. I was Math 1, and then I had like this qualifying exam, and then I actually went to Math 11 first. And then after that, Math 19 happened. I got dengue. It didn't help. 2 weeks, and I missed, I think, two exams, and then they just took it from the final exam, which was really, Hell Week yun eh. Like that's super bigat talaga. Like everybody's doing final exams. So it wasn't the best thing to kind of
give
get my
credit
grades
to
from.
Chiang Kai-shek.
So
They really have good math programs. So parang ang alam ko kilala kong mga
Yes.
taga Chiang Kai-shek talagang magaling sa math. So exception ka lang talaga doon.
Yeah.
Okay. Sige.
Not the ordinary.
No, anyway, but the thing here is maganda
Yeah.
yung point, no, na yung faculty, yung pagtatanong. Alam mo na yun, Bobet, yun, no, sa philo natin, hindi mo na naabot, sayang. Mas mahalaga yung mga tanong kaysa yung sagot. And that's what we're taught in Ateneo, no? Parang very important kasi kahit iba-iba yung sagot, pero mahalaga yung tanong. So it's good that you're able to ask the right questions. Go, Max.
So this is unrelated to school, but when you're training or when you're competing, what goes on in your head when you're doing the jumps? Like, does everything like happen in slow motion, like in the movies, or like, what's your thought process like?
Actually, when the jump is good, it feels really slow motion. You feel like you can tweak everything. Like every step of the vault itself, you feel like you can tweak it in a way that you need to, and that's when I jump my best. But mindset wise, I think whenever I'm in the track, I just focus on the bar, and I'm just like, I need to make this bar, and then I listen to my coach what he says. Like, okay, you need to adjust this. This is gonna make the pole move a little bit more, so we'll move the bar a little bit deeper. So like these kind of things, they just really just come and let it in my head, and then analyze it and then apply it. So nothing really, like, emotions are not very good, but I think positive ones are good. Like when there's a crowd and they're cheering you on, you forget about the risk. You get into the zone. It's literally. So I've been into competitions where I can't hear myself. That's the worst. That's the worst competition. I feel like overwhelmed. But there's this competition, like the whole stadium is full. Like I can't hear my coach, but I understand him. There's this link, like it sounds very parang movie-like, but it is like you can't hear your coach, but the signal, the how do you say, the directions and what they're saying, you understand it, and then from that point you don't really hear the crowd. It's just you in the runway in the bar. You hear the claps, but it doesn't really get into you. I don't know how to explain it. It's like you're isolated, and as I said, good jumps feels like time is very slow.
But are you affected by audience reactions at all?
Yeah, before, but now I think I learned how to use that crowd, and I think I've performed my best when the crowd is going just I think they loosen me up. I think that's the best kind of description to it.
EJ, may trash talk din ba sa pole vaulting? Like kanina nga sinabi mo, no, nung kinakausap ka nung taga France, no? May ganun ba?
Oh, did I say na taga France?
Sorry.
So there are a bunch of athletes. Very few, because pole vaulters were a very tight knit group. It's very funny. You see us compete, but off that competition, we help each other. Like, how do we bring this pole from one city to the other? So I had there was one time in a week I had like 4 competitions. So basically I was traveling through countries each day. So I had trouble. Imagine I have this 5-meter long pole, worrying how am I going to bring it from I believe from Poland to Zurich, from Zurich to Innsbruck to Berlin. And like the American guys, they have their facilitator, manager that drives the poles around to make sure that the poles make it in one piece. So I remember asking him, it's like, hey, it's a really huge favor to ask. I know I have nothing to offer you guys, but could my pole hitch in your van? Like, I got your coffee tomorrow morning. And just like really just asked like a huge favor. They're like the nicest guys. The pole vaulters are the chillest. Like in all track and field, I think we're the friendliest to everyone in the circuit. Yeah. So it's a very, we have all this hassle, and like going to Tokyo, actually called the reigning Olympic champion in the female side. Like I said, how are you bringing your poles from Europe? Is there a possibility that maybe my poles can hitch to your flight? Because I'm not sure exactly if my poles are gonna go, And sometimes I get these calls, and like when I have the possibility to help, like in Italy, like the Chinese guy, he said, I have a pole, I don't have a car, I need to go to Padova. Is this possible that I hitch with you? Like, is that a possibility? Yeah, it's a very friendly competition. But when we're in the track, when it's when a lot of things are on the line, you see us really get into it too. But then after the meet, we're like, let's have a drink, let's eat, let's hang out. We play table tennis, and I'm happy that I'm part of this generation of pole vaulters. They're very nice people.
But
not all, but most of them.
But how is that community here in the Philippines? Are you big?
I think we're slowly getting there. It used to be like maybe 5 people doing pole vaulting in the national games, and now there's maybe 10, 20, and multiple divisions now. So we're good. It's a different dynamic in Philippines. When I was competing for Ateneo, I would say my rival at that time was none other than Sal, So it was not a very. I think that was the first time I felt that in mini games. So I was in Bacolod, and I was about to jump, and I'm not hearing one big fight. I'm hearing Animo Lasal. So I was just like, oh God, what is this? Oh God, I am feeling, I feel that I feel it. Like, I think that honed me somehow too, but in UAP, I won. So where it's important, UAP, when it comes, I won. So I learned from it.
At least, no? Sabi nga ni Heidi, yung pole vaulting, meron na sa UAP, yung weightlifting, wala. Talagang, parang, you really have that, should have that community. Do you see yourself like training younger pole vaulters after?
Ooh, maybe helping them out. It's coaching is very difficult. It's very
That's true. I get that. Lahat destined to be that, no? But yours would be probably the voice of the pole vaulters after, no?
I hope, I'm part of the athletes commission. I'm holding a position to take care of the athletes, the athletes association.
Yeah.
So I'm really into it, like really protecting the rights of the athletes, like what they're supposed to get and what respect they should demand. But coaching wise, I'm coached by one of the best pole vaulters.
Technical. That's very technical, yeah.
And it's his job. I wouldn't want, I wouldn't want to be my coach. I know how difficult it is. So I don't know. If I can fulfill it in the best way that I can, and I don't think I can do it. I don't think I would put my hand into it.
Galing. At least you know where you excel, no? Lesser. Yeah.
Siguro, Noel, I'm just curious if EJ's not preparing for a competition or not on training. What do you do?
Eat no a lot.
Yeah, I've always been a very active person, so I love tennis. So when I'm not competing, I try to play as much tennis as I can. I love the mental challenge of it. But then, of course, I try to travel a bit. But this COVID, wasn't really a good time.
Mm-hmm.
The only off season that I had was just this year for the past 5 years. So it wasn't. I wouldn't say I had like a lot of things to do. So
kawawa ka naman, yung off-season was devoted into answering this whole controversy, no?
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
But if you had your choice, what's leisure like? What's a vacation like to you? Coming back to the Philippines is not an option to you.
Not at the moment because of, we're still at least
Yeah,
three
that's
for like, especially in Italy. So
Yes,
there's
yes.
only 5 reasons to fly back here, and being a sport is not one of it.
Yeah.
Vacation wise, I think I would love to go back to the Philippines, like as you said, and spend time with my family, friends, reconnect. Because I think I've really left that part of my life very, very, very far from where I'm at, and it's something I would wanna experience. I've enjoyed time with my family, hold my dogs, play with them. Like really, just kind of get that out of my tunnel vision. It's nice to be. I think it's a dream to have so much motivation to be like a machine. All the things that you do is going into that, but then
That's true.
when you reach to that point, you need to also kind of disconnect so you don't get burnt out. You get that hunger back in, and you want to do something more. So I would want to have a vacation or two. I'm not yet there. I don't think I'm still hungry for what I want to do, but yeah, I would want to have some time off too. And
But your family understands what you're going through, no? Because 5 years of not spending Christmas here in the Philippines, is that it? Iba pa rin yung Pasko sa Pilipinas, di ba?
yeah, they just say, they accept it. I think not I wouldn't say that they fully understand what I'm doing. Sometimes like it's very difficult. It's very difficult to fully comprehend where I'm coming from. As I said, this is like a second chance for me to kind of step back in the field, and it's a different driving force. Not just I'm not just enjoying this. It's a totally different driving force. So my dad is okay. My mom it's fine. Sometimes she breaks down. She said, I can't see my son for for a long time, and this is what we get. Like so. Yeah, there's a shade of I think hopefully it wouldn't come to a point that sisisihin nila ako dun. But I'm ready for it. Hopefully my parents are listening. I thank you for their understanding, and it's not even my girlfriend as well. Like it's not an easy task to be connected to me. Tito Bobet knows it already, a bit of it. Like it takes a lot of adjustment because I'm not the, how do you say, this driving thing, like I said, that it's a tunnel vision. Sometimes it's too narrow. Sometimes it's too narrow, and I don't really notice. Like I'm in a call with Tito Bobet. It's already like 3 a.m. in Manila. I forget that. Like, so
Pero
not the
gising siya,
easiest.
at
Yeah,
least
gising siya, but still, it's not
No,
the
but
nicest.
he will smile at this question kasi nga I think he was forewarned about this. But well, all our parang principles are anchored on personal relationships too. So you talked about family, you talked about a girlfriend, di ba? How hard is it to like maintain a relationship at this point?
Ooh. I didn't have any relationship until like last year, something like that. It's very difficult. I tried, but it just doesn't work because
It doesn't work.
I'm staying in Italy. I train 8 hours a day, and then the other 8 hours I'm sleeping, and then the next 2 to 3 hours of that day I'm either in a call of like with my NSA or the POC or PSC coordinating things, or I'm in physio. So I really don't have a lot of time for her, and it takes a lot of patience. And the good thing is my girlfriend is kind of in the same boat. She's an athlete. She's one of the best triple jumpers in her country, and she's also busy. So the time that we have, we cherish that. We try to really just connect. It's a lot of FaceTime, a lot of not really physically in the same, how do you say, the same city. So it takes a lot of work around, but I'm lucky to have her right now, and hopefully she sticks around. Not
Ibang klase, no?
not the
Hindi pa
easiest time,
LDR, di ba?
especially for
Parang
me.
online relationship.
Yeah, but we see the funny thing. We're on the same event, so we compete sometimes in the same competition. So
Okay.
that's a plus. That's a plus.
Okay. Max, game. Take a lesson from him, no? Para at least kaya naman if you... Kasi si Max, inaalagaan namin in terms of relationships. Kami nagsiscreen ng kanyang boyfriends. So, yun.
What boyfriends? Okay, so anyway, I actually want to hear both the perspective of EJ and Mr. Bobbitt for this one, because like being an athlete, and a while ago we talked about having a platform, and then with the online world now, sometimes what's amplified are the things we don't intend, and the things we do intend aren't the ones that get a lot of attention. So with criticism and like news and stuff, everything gets a little more amplified than how it would before. So what advice can you give to people right now, especially like our age, living in this online world? Because like having these amplifications, words taken out of proportion and out of control, it can get tough, like especially on students, because this isn't just something that happens in the public arena, but is also something that happens like in campus culture. So from both of you, the different perspectives, what advice can you give to us who live in a world like this, and how can we kind of get through it when things like this happen?
Social media. So I don't post anything when you're emotional. Recenter yourself. That's something that you cannot
True.
take back.
That's true.
That's in the public eye, and they can spin it the way they want to spin it. And what clicks. Just be smart and really recenter before you post anything. I think that's the best advice I got, and I think that's still the best advice I can give.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
go, Bobet.
You have to remember, me and Noel are from a different generation. Eh.
Yeah.
So iba, we look at this differently. And I've told this to EJ. Whenever you post, if you feel, that's what EJ said, remove all your emotions.
That's
But
true.
if you want to post something, I tell you, EJ, write it first. Then give it to me. I'll read it. I'll give it back to you. Read it again. Read it 10 times. Then maybe tomorrow, and then sleep on it. Maybe tomorrow you don't want to post anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Diba? So sa akin, that's my advice. You take time. Don't be emotional.
Yeah.
And if you see anything on Facebook that's hurtful, what's my best advice to EJ? Turn the thing off.
That's true.
Turn it off.
That's
Don't
true.
get affected. Diba? Never reply back on emotion. Never
true.
shoot from the hip. Diba? And this I tell everybody, all my friends who are trigger happy on Facebook, the first thing that comes to their mind, they post it, because that thing will never be erased.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
That's
If you want to post anything on Facebook that's controversial, take a picture of it.
Yeah.
Then look at it and ask yourself, if I show this to my grandchildren in 30 years, will I be proud that I posted this? Then maybe that will give you more retrospect. Diba?
Galing. Kasi wala sa amin ganyan dati, EJ.
Wala.
Parang I always remind people why you are in social media. You're there to inspire people. So go back to your why. Bakit ka nandyan? To have positive impact on people. And well, we're lucky because we have someone here who wants to wish you well, who's on the same boat. You're both injured and you're both healing at this point. Heidelin Diaz, our Olympians here, to say hello to you. Ayan si Ate Heidi.
Hi, EJ.
Hi,
Kaya mo
Ate.
yan. Alam ko medyo mahirap. Mahirap ang pinagdadaanan mo ngayon. Alam ko yung mahirap na mag-liquidate. Alam ko rin yung hirap na nandyan ka sa Italy na mag-isa, malayo sa pamilya. At alam ko yung hirap din after ng, kasi nagkaroon din ako ng injury, pero lagi mong isipin na kaya mo yan. Ginagawa mo ito dahil alam mo kaya mo. Kaya mong manalo ng gold medal sa Olympics at naniniwala kami sa iyo. At nandito kami para suportahan ka.
Ganda
Kaya mo.
Thank you.
Pareho kayong may pinagdadaanan ngayon. EJ, respond to that first.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you. Salamat, Ate. I've been messaging her. I called her before, back in August as well. We had talks, and she has an idea now beforehand. But still, she's been very inspiring. I think she showed the world that she broke that huge thick ice, that okay, Filipinos can't be the best in the world. Boom, like mic drop. Like 2020 Tokyo Olympics was, I think that was the biggest moment in the country, and I think that's gonna be embedded in the history. So this coming from her and Ate, I'm really thankful that in our multiple conversation, I always ask, what do you think? Like, should I trust this person? Like, was your experience when this comes? And yeah, just really thank you. Sometimes she parang like she walks me through it somehow, and just her having her support, and really thankful. But before I forget, pagaling ka, I heard that she tested positive for COVID. So stay healthy.
So ang tawag
Galing
natin
ka rin.
wounded healers, di ba? Mga may sakit pero they're trying to heal each other. Hides, how are you? People are asking. You're coping well? You have symptoms?
Yes sir, may sipon at may ubo, tapos medyo masama lang pakiramdam today, pero nagte-training pa rin ako kahit nandito ako sa loob.
Pareho nga kayo ni EJ, as telling him, kahit anong mangyari, may training pa din, no? Pero parang ano yung learning? I was telling Heidi, we're trying to process, no? Parang sinasabi ng katawan mo, rest din, no?
Yes sir, parang sinasabi ng katawan na rest din. Kasi nga looking forward ako para sa competition. Kasi may 3 akong competition tapos Olympic qualifying na. So looking forward ako doon. Tapos biglang boom, nag-positive ako. So parang paano na to? So going back to, alam din ni EJ yan, pag walang training for how many days, medyo wala na, nawawala na sa direction. So para ako ngayon, parang trusting God and trusting na kaya ko pang bumalik ulit.
EJ, respond to that. How are you coping with your injury now?
Yeah, I'm still training. I'm still doing things that leads up to where I should be, and same with Ate. But I think what Ate just said, it doesn't apply to everyone. Because I said it's not very healthy what we're kind of living. This life that we're every day we're knocking on that door of hey, is this the fine line of overtraining or training's hard? So it's a tricky thing to manage, and it's the same. The body says you rest, but sometimes you need to push it. You need to push it because you need to. You're an athlete. You're an elite athlete, and you need to be. How do you say you're there to be the best, and you need to do some things that are not really common practice, I would say.
And then yun nga, parang yung pinagdadaanan nyo ngayon, you're really parang, oy, tao rin pala sila. Parang nai-injure, nagkakasakit. But then it's bouncing back. It's really going back to your high performing self, no? Hides, paano pagpapalakas? I know you have to face yung bigla ang qualifying. May qualifying para sa SEA Games. Ikaw din ba, EJ, may ganon?
So far wala naman po, pero I think I need to keep my ranking up there so I can keep competing, at the highest level. So something like that for us.
Hi, Chika, what will be the next moves? Kasi nga, we have to tell all our other ad commitments. Sabi, later na, ang priority is to be well from COVID. And then focus on the competition, on the qualifying rounds, no?
Yes, sir. Also, kahit qualifying rounds to, I really need to prepare. Then I have to drop weight. So, ang gagawin namin, dahil nandito kami sa Manila, hindi ako nakaka-training ng maayos, saka delikado. So, pupunta kami sa Rizal, doon kami magte-training. So, parang backyard training din, kagaya nung ginawa namin sa Malaysia. Kasi kailangan namin maghanap ng paraan. Hindi pwede na, dahil walang training or wala kami mapagte-training, andito na lang kami. Kung hindi, hahanap kami ng paraan para makapag-training.
So, Heights, naiintindihan mo bakit nasa Italy si EJ, no?
Yes, sobrang naintindihan ko, sir. Kasi kung nandito siya, sino ang mga kasama niya sa training? At may facilities ba siya? Tapos, sinong magko-coach sa kanya? Kasi syempre, nasa world level na siya, yung elite level na siya. Mahirap i-maintain, i-sustain yung level na yon. Para maging top 3, top 1 sa world, mahirap yun. So, kailangan talaga ng team. So, naintindihan ko siya kung bakit siya nandun sa Italy. At nandun sa Italy ang pinakamagagaling na atleta. Kaya nandun siya. Sa Europe, actually.
Yun na nga, yun yung mga magaganda, no? Parang you know what you need to like get to your goal, no? Parang alam ko, Heights, hindi madali yung pinagdaanan mo to get Coach Gao to para buuin yung team to the point, EJ, that she had to shell out money on her own or get sponsors for coaches, for other coaches and other needs. EJ, ikaw ganun din?
I think I was lucky enough na I think my journey is a little bit more easier than Ate Hyde's. So I met my coach because I was part of a scholarship program by the International Federation. So I was sent to him, and then we just clicked, and then he wanted to coach me, and it's a little bit more, I think I would say, easier. It sounds like a fairy tale, but it is how it happened. So things are easier doesn't mean it's easy.
Yeah, it's not. May kanya-kanya tayong storya ng buhay at iba yung journey mo. At gusto ko lang sabihin, it's worth it. It's worth it, EJ.
I hope
so see you sa Paris 2024.
Nakakaiyak lang yan kasi nga, parang Bobet, diba, they're not doing it for themselves. If there's anything na bumabalik tayo doon sa hindi nila ginagawa yun para sa sarili nila. Kasi kung para sa sarili nila, they can lead very comfortable lives already.
Yeah.
But there's something more to that. Yeah, go Bobet.
Alam mo, Noel, I don't know if Heidi remembers me.
Yes,
pero
sir.
We've met before, di ba?
Naalala po kita.
Yes, sir. Saka alam mo, ito hindi kinikwento ni Heidi. Ito kikwento ko to. Para makita nyo gano'ng kabait na tao to. Pag nasa Malaysia yan, naka-lockdown siya. Yung anak ko kasi, plays for a Division 1 college team sa US for golf. Meron siyang lifting eh. She needs to lift eh. And she was in the Philippines, wala siyang magtuturo. Sabi ko, why don't you reach out to Ate Heidi and ask her for help? And Heidi would take time out to coach my daughter in the Philippines while training. Ganong kabait siya si Heidi sa amin. Kaya, hindi ko nakakalimutan Heidi yun, ha? Hindi pa tayo nakikita. So, si Sam is, siya nung manalo si Heidi, sabi ko, Sam, congratulations Ate Heidi, she won the gold medal. Ganyan kabait si Heidi sa amin. Sobrang bait niya.
Ganun naman yata.
See you soon, sir.
Really deserving of our help. Really deserving of our help. Why? Because hindi sila mahusay. Kung di yun nga, mabait pa sila, mabuti silang tao. Yun eh. Max, can we end this with one probably good thought? As we've always conducted our interviews like that, inspiring as it is. Go.
I think it's so inspiring what both of our athletes here said about bouncing back, because like seeing them making the country proud, doing their sports very excellently, you see that they become strong not only physically but also in the mind, spiritually and emotionally. And I think that's something that everyone can learn from and can be inspired by.
Galing, no? Lester, go. Last words.
Siguro, just a takeaway, speaking your mind, EJ, it will help out many of the athletes. And I think that's one of the ways on how you affect change. And sana, it will really make some changes on how we support our athletes. Kasi parang uhaw tayo sa medalya, no? And these are people that we should be investing and supporting because we are good at that sports. So sana we're able to affect change.
Galing. Bobet, last words. Just so inspiring. Thank you for facilitating this, because it's nice to really touching base with people of the same principles, no, supporting each other.
Well, for me, in my journey with EJ Obiena, I didn't only meet a world-class athlete like Heidelin Diaz, diba? I met a very, very good person, and that's what I want people to see. Basically, we look at them like celebrities. They are world-class athletes, but they're really, really good persons. Yung ginagawa ni EJ ngayon is a continuation of what Heidelin was doing before when she spoke out. Diba? And hindi tapos ang laban ng atletang Pilipino eh. Diba? So EJ is, like what he said, he just wants a chance to be heard para malaman ang katotohanan. And I think what EJ wants is to be able to do the thing that he loves the most, which is to jump.
Yeah.
Let EJ jump. Let him compete. Let him do his job. Let him do what he is world class at. Diba?
Yeah.
Huwag natin siyang pabayaan natin si EJ tumalon. Pabayaan natin ang atleta natin mag-perform, diba? Masayang lahat ang hirap na to kung hindi siya tatalon eh. And he's jumping for the Philippines. He's jumping for the Philippines. And lagay natin sa isip natin, I said this to Noel and other panelists, he could have taken the easiest way out.
Yeah.
Diba? But he's sticking it out with the Philippines. Then let EJ jump.
That's true. At yun, supportan natin yung kailangan hides mula sa isang taong hindi naman nag-jump, hindi naman nag-soar, kung di binuhat naman tayo. So, any final words and inspiring words despite what you're going through also now with COVID?
First, gusto ko rin magpasalamat sa iyo, Sir Noel, sa pag-invite sa akin dito. Then, thank you rin na pag-share ng story ni EJ at namin na kapwa kaming mag-atleta, nagkakaintindihan kami. Kasi nga, alam ko yung pinagdaanan niya. Gusto ko lang sabihin, EJ, alam ko pinagdaanan mo, naintindihan kita. Mahirap maging atleta, pero isipin natin, ginagawa natin to para sa Pilipinas. May mga time na siguro pine-question mo bakit. May mga time na parang ayaw mo na, lalong-lalo na ngayon, may injury ka. Alam kong medyo ang dami mo ng doubt dyan, emotionally, physically. Pero siguro, isipin mo na lang yung team behind mo na hindi sila sumusuko sa'yo, naniniwala sila sa'yo. Then, isipin mo rin ang haba ng pinag-trainingan mo na, ilang years ka na sa pole vault, so huwag kang sumuko. Kahit anumang binabato sa yung mga sinasabi dyan, huwag kang sumuko, kayang-kaya mo yan. And ang dami mong pinagdaanan na eh. So gusto ko lang sabihin na kayang-kaya mo yan and see you sa Paris 2024.
Galing. EJ, go. Thank you for spending time with us. I knew Sino Bobet had to convince you. I hope we proved that it was a worthwhile opportunity to be with you today. Go, final words now.
Of course. First I want to say thank you talaga kay Ate Higinin, she's been, a different kind of mentor. She's more she literally walked this path. So thank you, really thank you for, just guiding me and, letting me know what is out there and what I should be wary of, And thank you. And of course, we'll do our best. And Paris 2024 is not that far away. Literally 2 years and something na lang. So it's gonna come fast.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully we'll bring a couple of golds back to the country,
Yeah.
Yes.
And we'll be there. We'll be there not when you win the gold. We'll be there through the process. The hardest part is the training. So that's it, no? So in the training process yon, magpakahusay, magpakabuti, and in the end, magpakasaya lang tayo. Hindi ang bata-bata nyo pa, you have a whole life to live. So thank you for doing this. Thank you for leveling up with us. This is your pool of support, EJ Heidelin. Will always be here. At walang ibang gusto, walang personal kabig. Yun yung sabi palagi, you will always consult those people na hindi ka kabig. Yun yung para mababuti kayong tao. Yung parang to the best of your potential malalabas, and not for yourself, but for a greater purpose, which is for country and for God. So, thank you to everyone. Thank you, Bobet, for fixing this. Thank you, Lester, Maxine. Thank you, Hides, pagaling. Thank you, EJ, pagaling. We'll see you again, and we'll always be here to level up with you. Maraming salamat. Thank you.
Thank you very much po. Thank you.
Thank you.
Salamat. Pagaling ka, EJ. Ingat.
Para sipagin na natin to. Para samahan niyo na ako. Wag mo na kayang palampasin, wag na wag mo na kayang palampasin, wag na wag mo na kayang patagalin, tenanaw mo na gawin mo
kailanman mapipigilan pagbuhos ng ulan. Ang buhay sadyang ganyan.
At kaya ng papago-pagong pag-ihip ng hangin. Lahat ay lilipas at magsasalita.
Huwag kang mabahala, huwag mataranta. Hindi kailangan ang mag-alilangan pa.
Isipin mo laging nandito lamang ang aking balikat, sa'yo'y nakaabang.
Asahan mo, hindi ka iiwan sa mundo. Lahat may hangganan, asahan mo. Wala nang atrasan sa iyong bawat hakbang na pupuntahan.
Pangako kailanman, agad akong nandyan.
Sang tawag mo
At tuwing nagdidilim ang langit, di ba't nagpapakita ang buwan? Hanggang mag-umaga na naman.
Tara't hintayin na natin
Magsikat ang iyong araw
hanggang sa magliwanag muli ang lahat. Asahan mo, hindi ka iiwan sa mundo. Lahat may hangganan, asahan mo. Wala nang atrasan sa iyong bawat hakbang na pupuntahan.
Pangako kailanman, agad akong nandyan.
Sang tawag mo, asahan mo, hindi ka iiwan sa mundo. Lahat may hangganan, asahan mo. Wala nang atrasan sa iyong bawat hakbang na pupuntahan.
Pangako kailanman, agad akong nandyan.
Sang tawag mo sang tawag mo
Mga Katipuneros, it's time to level up! Your top variety program showcasing the best in media and other fields. As we feature the most loved personalities and the best practices of what we truly refer to as Magis. Together with multi-awarded multimedia guru Mr. Noel Ferrer, let's all level up every Fridays from 3 to 6 p.m. here on Radyo-Katipunan 87.9 FM.
Radyo-Katipunan. News, insights, inspiration. Radyo-Katipunan. Down from the hill and down to the world. Radyo-Katipunan. The voice of the Blue Eagle.
Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Voice of the Blue Eagle, kami di mapipigil sa pagbabalitang tumpak at tama. Buhay Atenista, sa loob sa labas ng eskwela, ating ibibida lahat ng kwela. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Ignacio, Katipunero, Sugod, todo sa kayod, dunong at tulog. Lipat na Blue Eagle, galing giting nagigil. Blue and white, one big fight. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, radyo, Katipunan.
We stand on a hill between the earth and sky. Now all is still when the yawless colors fly. Our